Drivers, start your engine!
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Behind him, one last chance down the back straightaway into corner number 3 and out of corner number 4. Looking to drag race back to the start finish line, but no one will catch him as the 77 of Dalton Wicker will pick up the checkered flag.
This is the Hypershift Racing League on Peacemaker Gaming.
Rubber burning engine screaming, it's a madhouse. Hypershift racing, every driver wild and riled out. Peacemaker broadcast, a crowd tuned in tight, watching steel beasts fight under stadium lights. Pedal to the floor, we ain't pumping no brakes. Speed demons in the zone, leaving fire in their wake. On the edge of chaos, ain't no room to fake. Peacemaker screens lit for the glory we take. Tires spinning rhythm, a dangerous ballet. Hypershift gladiators in an asphalt ballet. Drafting on the curves, it's a calculated gamble. One wrong move leaves your dreams dismantled. Crowd roaring, engines roaring, echoes break the sky. Broadcast live for the legends who never fear to fly. Checker flags beckon, it's the road we obey. Adrenaline profits, in the fast lane we stay. Pedal to the floor, we ain't pumping no brakes. Speed demons in the zone, leaving fire in their wake. On the edge of chaos, ain't no room to fake. Peacemaker screens lit for the glory we take. Pedal to the floor, we ain't pumping no brakes. Speed demons in the zone, leaving fire in their wake. On the edge of chaos, ain't no room to fake. Peacemaker screens lit for the glory we take. Time spinning rhythm, a down, the glory we take. Time spinning rhythm, a down, the glory we take. Tire spinning rhythm, a dangerous ballet. Hypershift gladiators in an asphalt ballet. Drafted on the curves, it's a calculated gamble. One wrong move leaves your dreams dismantled. Crowd roaring, engines roaring, echoes break the sky. Broadcast live for the legends who never fear to fly. Checker flags beckon, it's the road we obey. Adrenaline profits, in the fast lane we stay. Pistons pump like heartbeats, it's mechanical insanity. Hypershift warriors bending physics with calamity. Peacemaker feeds a frenzy to every fan's delight. When the lead's in the zone, it's a glorious fight. Pedal to the floor, we ain't pumping no brakes. Speed demons in the zone, leaving fire in their wake. On
and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rock and roll here this evening from the beautiful Daytona International Speedway, as tonight is our 213 SimWear Duels at Daytona for what is going to set the stage for our Tom's Tasty Taters 250 here in a couple weeks. That's virtually our season opener for the points. That will be our Daytona 500 following the Daytona 500. So for a lot of these drivers, this is going to be a good testament and a good opportunity to not only showcase what you can do, what your abilities are out there on the racetrack, maybe make some more friends out there that may be a little bit more willing to help you out when it comes to our feature event here in a couple weeks for our first points race of the season. But tonight, still very, very important. You still need to put together a good race. You still need to have a good showing and try to put yourself into a good position. As of right now, for all these drivers that are rolling out on the racetrack, this is their qualifying opportunity. And for our top two drivers here in qualifying, they will lock themselves in as the front row of our Tom's Tasty Taters 250 in a couple weeks from now for our point season opener here with the Hypershift Racing League for what is going to be an amazing series as the Hypershift Racing League. It is the IMB Racewear Nascar series here with the Hypershift Racing League for what is going to be a great season, a ton of fun, a lot of great action, a lot of back and forth, and a lot of great battles week after week after week. And for these drivers, obviously, as we said, top two lock themselves in as the front row. Everybody else now, the top two, can still race here tonight. They can still have some fun and showcase their abilities or kind of get a little extra test and tune in and make sure that their cars are, set up perfectly here for this, for not only tonight, but for, our next race here as well for that season opener. So they can get a little extra practice run. But for all these other drivers, if you're not in the top two here in qualifying, then virtually you are racing for your starting position when it comes to our Tom's Tasty Taters 250 in 2 weeks. So for John Osborne, our Doug Denise, hopefully I'm saying that right, Doug Denise, right now they sit back in third and fourth. Unfortunately, they won't lock themselves into the show. They won't lock themselves into their starting positions. But if they were to finish tonight first and second in our duel, then they would start third and fourth. So virtually, if one of our top two in qualifying do not win this race, then that will start the, second line here for our, Daytona 500 in a couple weeks from now. Hopefully that clarifies that. We'll go through it probably a few more times throughout the evening, but as of right now, we've gotten pretty much everybody a lap time in. There's only a few drivers that have yet to roll a lap here for qualifying, and it doesn't look like they will because the lights are now on, the sun has set here in Daytona, and it is time for our 213 SimWear Duel at Daytona. Qualifying is over, and great news and a huge shout out here to our top two in qualifying. Now they can start this race, they can run this race, they will start at the front of the field here. They will also make up the front row in 2 weeks for our Daytona 500 here as well, as Adam Boughton with the quick time in qualifying. He will start in the pole position. To his outside will be this 12 ride of Al Likens. So front row going to be the exact same here tonight as it will be in 2 weeks time, and that is going to put everyone else back behind them into the hot seat. Now you need to jump up here. You need to get a good finish. Every couple spots could be a row forward that you could start in our main race and our season opener for the points in 2 weeks time. So for a lot of these drivers, qualifying a lot of times here at Daytona or any of the plate races isn't necessarily super important, but in our, our top races here, our first race of the season here with the 213SimWear Duels with the, Tasty Taters 250 in 2 weeks. Those are some of the crown jewels. You still want to jump up there. You still want to be starting towards the front, put together a good race, and obviously if you can run towards the front, sometimes it can be the better position to be. We'll go through that strategy here throughout this race because a lot of the drivers will still kind of roll that same strategy here this evening, even though this is only 40 laps of racing action. It's going to go by quickly. It's going to be done in a flash here this evening. 40 laps at Daytona seems like it might be a lot, but it's probably not going to be a ton. But for a lot of these drivers, they know what's coming up in 2 weeks for our point season opener, where we're going to be running 100 laps. We're going to have some stages in there as well. The race is going to be a little bit more broken up, but a whole lot longer. So to get this extra little bit of practice in now with all these drivers out there on the racetrack, really kind of figure out your setup and what you may need to change, what you may need to work on. Maybe your car's really fast out in front of a pack. Maybe it struggles a ton mid-pack, getting a lot of dirty air around your race car. Maybe you just need that extra little bit of a hand. So for Adam Boughton, he'll at least, he knows he's got a fast hot rod, able to qualify on the pole here. He's going to be looking to see what his car can do out front for a little bit. We'll see if he elects to jump a little farther in the field, try to test and tune kind of what his car will do throughout this feature event. As Al Likens will start there to his outside in position number 2. Back in third will be the number 11 ride of John Osborne. Osborne will start there in third. To his outside is the 40 ride of Doug Denise. Starting in the 5th position is the 18 of Michael Carter. Carter will start in position number 5 here this evening. To his outside in the beautiful number 24, it is Jack Simpson. Starting in position number 7, it is the 32 ride of Cedric Ingram. To his outside in the number 15 is Brian King. Starting in position number 9 in the 78 ride is the Canadian Racing Machine. That is Jaden Newson. Mr. Jaden Newson out there on the racetrack. To his outside, running at our top 10 is the Monster Energy Grizzly number 96 of Aaron Spear with the Tom's Tasty Taters and Walleye Fish Sandwiches number 36 of Gage Wenzel, who will start there in 11th. To his outside, we will see Connor Fuge. Hopefully I'm getting that right. Connor Fuge there in position number 12 with Jeff Carson, Trevor Massetti, Corey Dank. Then we see Drew King, Fred Pennington, Jax Holder, Matt Sisler. Oh, I'm probably getting that completely wrong, Matt. I do apologize. Matt Walters back there with Anthony Ludi, Max Koss, Kent Mueller, Noah Blackwell out there. Going to see Noah back out on the racetrack as Mr. Blackwell back in about the 24th position. He's got Dylan Huso to his outside. Then we see Tommy Pulte, Dwayne Furtick, Tyler Chronister, Ryan Chronister, Jonathan Cofield, and Daniel Wicker back in position number 31. Now for Daniel Wicker, he did not jump in onto the racetrack, and early on here for Jonathan Cofield. Cofield's back already behind the pack here. Unfortunately, he is behind the 8 ball early on in this race, and unfortunately being that far back, he's now no longer on the draft here. He's fallen already just in this opening lap about 9 seconds from the tail end of that field, and it looks like he's gonna potentially run a 1 lap and done. He's going to take this car right back down pit side here on our opening lap, and for Jonathan Cofield, looks like maybe an early night here for that number 58 machine. But out in front, still battling door to door to door. Each and every one of these drivers still side by side here at the front of the field. As out in front, it's Boughton and Likens still battling here for this race lead. No one's been able to pull out front. We could see these drivers stay 2 by 2 by 2 pretty much the whole way back here throughout the field. Not a whole lot of movement. Some drivers moving moving a little bit farther forward than others as Likens will lead that lap. And now you take a look. He jumps down finally to the inside, and he jumps in front of Adam Belton. So for Belton, he'll slide back into at least that second position, but now has that 40 ride of Duncan Denise working to his outside, trying to work his way up to the front of the field and looking to try to get into the battle at the front of the pack. Is already here this evening. Man, just great pack racing. It's awesome to see a lot of these races. I know we're still early. We're about to hit our 3-lap marker, but to see these guys still, nose to tail, door to door out there, a lot of times you can start to see things kind of settle out, especially a little bit more towards the back of the pack here. You can really start to see, more of a dominant line. You're starting to see that grow now. We'll have to wait and see if that outside lane can build up that momentum, get rolling again, try to battle back here to the outside of that front row, and continue to battle here for the race lead here this afternoon. You do take a look back there. I believe that is the number 32, is Cendric Ingram. Ingram's going to jump to the outside lane. He wants to try to help him out. He wants to try to get to the front of the field here, so he's hoping that they can pick him up. But potentially, yeah, there we go. We see the 40 ride of Doug Denise. He's going to jump down to the inside here. Now, oh, look out right there. Gage Wenzel giving a good shot there to Jaden Newson. Newson almost went around down through corner number 3. Luckily enough, able to hang on to it, able to keep his foot in the throttle and keep on battling here this evening. But that was very close to potentially seeing big wreck here towards the front of the field, and that is the big question for a lot of these drivers on where do you want to run. This is only a 40-lap race, so you don't have a ton of time, but honestly, you still have a lot of time to navigate your way around this racetrack and to work yourself through the traffic and try to get towards the front. So we could see a lot of drivers just trying to play it safe here, hang out a little deeper in the field, really not put yourself into a bad position if there is a wreck or an issue there towards the front of the field. And you're starting to see some more of these drivers. Look back at Tyler Chronister, Matt Walters, Drew King's back there. You take a look at Anthony Ludi in the 95 ride, and look at this thing, man. This is a beautiful race car for Ludi in the Robin Hood Toyota number 95. It's gonna be very hard to miss that machine, man. Ludi's machine looking absolutely fresh out there. That highlighter yellow or like a limeish green color. Man, that's a beautiful looking ride out there on the racetrack. And right to his back bumper is Kent Mueller. Then we do see Tommy Pulte and Dwayne Furtick back there. Ryan Chronister's kind of hanging out, being a little bit more idle back there in that Xfinity Mobile number 19. But for a lot of these drivers, it's all about survival. Being there at the end, giving yourself an opportunity here late in this race. We're still going to see, obviously, a lot of laps being laid down here as down across the line. They just completed lap number 6 out there on the Speedway. And it seems like things have gotten a little bit more cordial there towards the front, but they're wrecking back there behind them. And we'll see our first caution flag of the day. First yellow flag is going to come out. Aaron Spear collected the 81 ride of Noah Blackwell. Looks like Dwayne Furtick in there. Tommy Pulte. Couple of drivers here, unfortunately, getting pretty tore up out there on the racetrack. Potentially issues for Tyler Chronister as well. There's Chronister. Looks like he's got a little bit of damage on the front end of that race car. As a lot of drivers here down and out of the tri-oval all of a sudden. Things just went astray in a quick hurry, and it looks like it kind of starts with Aaron Spear. So let's see if we can get another look here at that Spear ride and kind of see, what happens here, because they're going to head down through the tri-oval. They start to stack up right there in front of them. See how all three drivers get super tight. The 15 almost jumps to the outside lane. The 96 sees that. He gets checked up. The 14 ride gets to his back bumper. A little bit of contact there, and unfortunately just knocks this 96 loose. They make contact again. He's still loose trying to catch it. Unfortunately, the car finally goes around. Here he comes down across the nose of the 14. Hard contact into Tyler Chronister's ride. Pulte, Noah Blackwell, really nowhere for them to go. They wash back up the track right into Kent Mueller. Heavy contact there for Mueller, and here comes the 51 of Dwayne Furtick in there as well, as he slams into that right rear of the 81 of Noah Blackwell. So early on, some pretty solid hits out there on the racetrack, and for a lot of these drivers, just trying to keep themselves kind of out of the damage, out of the carnage here, riding towards the back of the pack, and unfortunately, they still end up finding it because it starts more towards the back of the field. So here you go. This is kind of right on board with Furtick, and there you go. You see the contact. 99 starts to go around, and everyone else goes around as well, and unfortunately, for that 51, just could not get checked up quick enough to avoid contact there with Noah Blackwell and the 26 of Pulte. So unfortunately, some pretty good hits, some pretty good licks, and a few tore-up race cars, and that is going to put us under our first caution flag of the day. So now we'll get everyone stacked back up, racked back up, and ready to go back to green flag racing in just a little bit. But will we see potentially some strategy here from some of these drivers? I don't know if we're going to see anyone come down pit road, but we may have some takers. And here we go. It starts with our race leader. Al Likens says, you know what? I'll take advantage of this. He's going to come down pit road. So doesn't Doug Denise as well in that 40 ride. Here comes Matt Sisler in that number 31 machine. The Birdies ride down pit side. Cedric Ingram also coming down pit road. Here comes Ryan Chronister, and here comes Fred Pennington as well down pit road. Drew King's down pit side. He's getting some work done to that number 34 ride. Obviously, Aaron Spears down pit road. He's trying to still get repairs done to his race car. Ludy's down pit side. Dylan Huso's down there in that Kodak number 88. And then we take a look back at, obviously a few more of these drivers trying to get some more extensive repairs done. The Pepsi number 17, Max Cost is down there. You take a look at Mueller, who's down pit side. Noah Blackwell, Tyler Chronister's rolling back out there. There's that 51 rider, Dwayne Furtick, Tommy Pulte. So they're trying to get their cars fixed up and back out there onto the racetrack here, hoping that any of the damage that they may have gets repaired and that they don't have to deal with it, throughout the rest of this race, and try to maybe keep a quick repair in their back pocket. As Ned, what's good, Ned? Ned comes in, showing the love, says, let's go Bluegrass Racing. Cheering on the Bluegrass Racing team, as I believe we also got Emma in the chat. Emma in the chat as well says, let's go Gage, cheering on Mr. Wenzel here this evening. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys are just tuning in and you haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor right now. Hit the like button on the stream for us, hit that subscribe button, become a brand new member of the Peacemaker family, and make sure you jump into the comment section. Let us know who you're cheering for, let us know who you want to see up and into victory lane here this evening for our 213 SimWear Duels at Daytona. As here tonight, man, it sets the stage, it'll set the starting grid, and obviously it'll set the tone pretty much for the season. So for a lot of these drivers, you want to get off to a hot start, you want to build some momentum, especially when we come here for our, Daytona 500-esque race in a couple weeks for our point season opener. A lot of these drivers want to get off to that hot start, so we'll have to wait and see, who's going to be able to take the best advantage of it. As Adam Boughton out front, he was our pole sitter. He's locked into that pole position for our feature event in a couple weeks' time for the Tom's Tasty Taters 250 here at Daytona once again. So he will start on the front row with that number 12 of Al Likens. Everyone else out there on the racetrack, though, they are battling for starting position. So if virtually, let's say, Al Likens and Adam Boughton went to the rear of the field and didn't keep racing here this evening, basically everyone else would be not only racing for the win here today, but the winner of this race would start in position number 3. The driver to the finish second would start in 4th, and so on to set the stage back behind the 94 of Boughton and the 12 of Al Likens here in a couple weeks for our first points race of this season. And here tonight, obviously kicking things off, man, the fireworks, the frustrations, everything may still come out. I mean, it's a shorter race. A lot of things can happen, though. The intensity level is bound to pick up here in a quick hurry. And for a lot of these drivers, they still want to find victory lane, man, whether it's a points race or not. These guys are competitors. They are fierce drivers out there on the racetrack, and not one of them is coming to Daytona International Speedway and not having the hopes to potentially find themselves up and into victory lane. As our pace car will make the hard left-hand turn back down pit side and down through the restart zone. Here we go, back to green flag racing. Here from Daytona International Speedway, Adam Belton gets the green flag, gets a good launch in quickly, a good push to his back bumper as the 11 of John Osborne all over his back bumper in that G-Shock number 11 machine, and that's going to push Belton right out in front. They jump down low, they slide in front of Michael Carter. Carter's going to sit back there in third, but he has got a back bumper full of that 9 ride as Jeff Carson trying to work his way up towards the front here. We'll see if Carson elects to stay down low, if he stays glued to the back bumper of the 18, because, man, he is absolutely giving everything he's got back there in that 4th position on the racetrack. And unfortunately for Jaden Newson, he's doing everything he can to try to keep that outside lane alive. He's got his teammate in the Tom's Tasty Taters and Walleye Fish Sandwiches, number 36, right to his back bumper. That is Gage Wenzel, trying to get Jaden up there, trying to get that outside lane once again drawn even here potentially with our race leaders out there on the racetrack. As of right now, they're a couple rows back, but they are hanging tough here. We'll have to wait and see if it stays that way, or if maybe this will be a thing of the future. Maybe we'll see these guys kind of learn a little bit today that the outside lane may hold strong. It may work for a few laps. We kind of saw it fall back after about 3 or 4 laps of green flag racing in that first run before the caution flag. And then after that, it seemed like that outside lane just started to fall apart, started to all of a sudden become not as dominant as it was early on. And again, we see it kind of working well here for the 78, for that 36. The outside lane is still holding on here. They get another good run to the outside. They're almost door to door with our race leader down through corner number 1 and 2. And for right now, it's holding tough. We'll have to wait and see if it stays that way, but we are going to see 36 ride Gage Wenzel jump down to the inside. So doesn't the 78 of Jaden Newson. They're trying to get the 15 ride in there as well, and he just barely squeezes in between Wenzel and Newson. So Brian King working well with them, but now we do see Jaden jump up to the outside lane here again. So it doesn't look like either he wanted to be down low, or maybe he just wanted to test out this outside lane a little bit more, and he's going to jump back out there as we do have a few more drivers running into issues. I think back deeper in the field here, looks like Matt Solzer, a couple of these drivers ran into some problems here and off the racetrack. Looked like Matt Walters also kind of getting into it here. Let's take a look and see what happened here a little deeper in the field. Right there's contact between the 31 and the, I think that's the 10 ride, I do believe. Taking another look at it because they were down off the track, and unfortunately they had lost a ton of momentum. That was close to being our second caution flag of the day. I don't know if the 10 kind of comes up or if the 31 kind of comes down. Nonetheless, they run out of room, and as they do, they both just get down into the infield grass. Luckily enough, both drivers able to keep them pointing in the right direction. And for that fire ball, oh no, big hit there afterwards. Matt Walters just trying to keep this thing alive and trying to get it rolling back out onto the racetrack. Unfortunately, he ends up jumping up and into the outside fence right there. Heavy right side damage here for him. And it looks like for the Fireballs GC number 10 ride, he may have to take that thing down pit road off the racetrack here for a little bit. He's still rolling out there, but we are going to see more chaos. Things are stretched out, and we see the caution lights are back on as the yellow flag will be displayed here once again down the back straightaway. So some more issues, more carnage here, and it looks like it may start towards the front of the field. Let's take a look here at it. Right there. There we go. There's the contact, and hang on to it. This could be a big one, as Jaden Newson, who had just taken the race lead, he was out in front and jumped to that outside lane, though, and all of a sudden falling back a couple spots. Looks like it's going to start here with that 78. So the 14 rides on his back bumper. Now, I do believe the 14 machine is Connor Fuge. Hopefully I'm getting that right. I see Tyler Cheney's in the chat, says, go get him, Connor. Is it pronounced Fuge? How exactly does he pronounce Connor's last name? But Connor here in the 14 is going to get right to the back bumper, give a good shot, gets the 78 loose on corner exit. As he does, he gets up into the fence, comes down into the 11. The 9 ride gets collected, and so doesn't pretty much everybody else, as the big one here at Daytona ends up with a ton of drivers just nowhere to go and tore up in it. And it looks like Al Likens maybe kind of right in the epicenter of it, as he's kind of fourth in line from that initial contact, tries to jump down. They're beating and banging, then all of a sudden, yeah, just they get stacked up. Everyone's trying to move down and out of the way. Al gets spun up and into the outside fence. The 21 rides there. The 7, the Tiny Toes machine of Corey Dank tries to get through it. Anthony Luty's right there as well. Nowhere to go for the 32. The 81 of Blackwell. The Kodak number 88's right there into it as well. Hard contact into the driver's side door of that 21 machine. And, man, a lot of drivers. Yep, you got it pronounced. Okay, perfect. Fuge. Okay, I figured it was. You just never quite know. And we always like to make sure we try to get the drivers' names, correctly pronounced. Sometimes it'll take us a little bit, sometimes a little bit more than what we would hope. But we do see pit road is going to be very, very busy after our second caution flag of the day, as a lot of these drivers that got tied up right there are all down pit road. You see Likens down there. There's John Osborne's going to hit his box. Jaden Newson, Chronister, Michael Carter, Jack Simpson, Cedric Ingram, Michael Carter, who was tied up in it. Dylan Huso in the 88 ride. He got tore up in it. And unfortunately for a lot of these drivers, and we're looking to get a lot of damage repaired here, and potentially for some of them, maybe down pit side for an extended period of time. You got to hope that you still have, a quick repair in your back bumper, in your back pocket that you can kind of use. You see the Tiny Toes number 7 rider Corey Danks down there. There's Trevor Massetti as well. Massetti's down there in his number 88 ride as well. Jeff Carson's down there in that Carson Setup Shop number 9 ride. Jax Holder in the 38. Noah Blackwell's back down there. We just saw Blackwell unfortunately get tied up in that first wreck as well. And for the Cannon number 81, not sure if the crew's definitely getting some overtime here this evening, trying to get that thing back out there onto the speedway and back into the action here this evening, as they got to be careful as our race leaders bet around corner number 4. You do not want to put yourself a lap down here and virtually potentially take yourself out of this feature event. But now out in front after all that chaos and carnage, it is the number 36 of Gage Wenzel in the Tom's Tasty Taters and Walleye Fish Sandwiches. Number 36 ride, who finds himself out in front and has the race lead. It'll be Brian King down to his inside here, and then we do see Adam Boughton still sitting in third, Connor Fuge back in fourth. Tyler Chronister's up and into that 5th position with Aaron Spear to his outside. Then we see Kent Mueller in the American Legion number 8 machine. They are in 7th. Drew King in the U.S. Postal Service number 34. They're in 8th. Then we do see that Safe Light number 40 of Doug Denise there in position number 9. Dwayne Furtick rounding out our top 10 as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing. Looks like pretty much everyone was able to get back out there. Looks like everyone's able to get back into the action here. Obviously, a few of these drivers still have a little bit more damage than others, trying to maybe save that quick repair for a little later in this race, and then just trying to survive here for a little bit. Hope that maybe they catch another caution flag, another opportunity opportunity to work on their race cars, try to get them fixed up, and back out there onto the racetrack and into the action here with a brand new, fresh, fully repaired race car later on this evening. But we haven't even hit that halfway marker yet, and I'm sure we're bound to see maybe another caution flag or two here before the end of the night. So maybe just being smart with it, maybe trying to make sure you don't use that quick repair up too early may be the best bet, the good gamble here in this feature event. So we'll have to wait and see how this one will play out. Now, we could go clean and green. We could run virtually the next 22 laps caution free here and go right to the checkered flag. But I mean, I've done a lot of these races here. I've seen a ton of real life races here at Daytona, but also, you know, I've been up in the booth and called, I don't know how many, probably working on towards 100 races or better here at Daytona International Speedway. And man, we don't see a ton of them go long green flag run to the checkered flag. We tend to see that late race caution flag that breeds other late race caution flags, and it can get fairly chaotic in a quick hurry at Daytona International Speedway. Tonight may play out the same way. We'll have to wait and see, but a great restart here for Gage Wenzel. Wenzel gets a good launch, good jump there. He had Connor Fuge right there on his back bumper, and Fuge is going to stick with them as they both jump down to the inside groove here in front of that 15 of Brian King. Adam Boughton back and forth as Chronister sits in that 5th position. You see, once again, the inside lane just kind of, I don't know if they just get more organized quicker here. Seems like the outside lane just really doesn't have the cars in it and doesn't have the drive in it to stick with that outside lane here, especially on that last restart as the 34 of Drew King kind of leads the charge here in the outside lane. He does have the 51 of Dwayne Furtick there on his back bumper, trying to get him towards the front. Our outside pole sitter for this race and our season opener, the 12 of Al Likens, will start here. He's back at about the 9th position right now with Ryan Chronister, sorry, right there behind him. The 88 of Dylan Husos there, as well as Fred Pennington. So they're starting to get a little bit more help. They're starting to get that outside lane kind of stacked back up and trying to find a little bit of groove out there. But we do see a little farther back here some more drivers kind of taking it easier again as we see the 9 of Jeff Carson, Corey Denk, and Trevor Massetti all kind of leave that main group. They've kind of lost that draft. They sit about 4 seconds back of Jackson Holder, who's at the rear of this lead pack. And unfortunately for those three, I'm not sure if this is by design or if it's part of their strategy. Maybe just to kind of hang out here a little deeper in the field, try to make sure they don't get collected another big wreck or another issue out there on the racetrack. Maybe they're feeling that the intensity's picking up, the vibes may be a little off there towards the front, and waiting to see if things may get cooled down, or waiting to see if there's potentially another big wreck here late in this race. And anything is possible, but we do see the outside lane kind of come back to life as Tyler Chronister jumped to the outside lane. He'll take a shot from Drew King to jump out in front, but now we see that 36 of Gage Wenzel. He'll slide back up and around him here as Drew King works to his back bumper, and for Wenzel, he wants this race lead. He wants to be out in front, leading all the laps here in that Tom's Tasty Taters and Walleye Fish Sandwiches ride, as he'll slide up and then slide back down to the inside groove and in front of that Walmart number 99 of Tyler Chronister. So Chronister will have to settle in for second again there at the line, but it looks like he may try his hand here. He's going to jump to the outside groove. He's going to look for Drew King to give him a shove, and now this is normally when we start to see that pushing and shoving get a little bit tougher and rougher for a lot of these drivers, especially now that we're within 20 laps left to go here in this race. This is where that intensity level really starts to ramp up, and you're going to start to see drivers maybe grow a little bit impatient. A lot of these guys don't want to sit back there, ride in line, and kind of just follow the leader in their lane out there on the racetrack. So they may want to start to slice and dice it a little bit more. They may try that outside lane, go 3 wide. They may try to split the middle here a couple times. I thought for a little bit the last time around down the back straightaway, I thought we were going to see that 51 trying to shoot to the middle there. It seemed like there was a gap between that 36 and the 34 ride. I thought he was going to be able to use it, and unfortunately, he did not. Now, there we go. We see it right there in the middle. Here comes the 94 of Adam Belton. Belton jumps into the middle, but now look out. There's contact back behind him. Look out. It's Kent Mueller. Oh, baby, around goes Mueller. Caution flag is back out onto the racetrack. Yellow flag as Kent Mueller gets tied up in it. I do believe that is the 10 machine of Matt Walters also tied up. Doug Denise ends up with quite a bit of front end damage here in that safe light number 40 ride as the yellow flag comes back out. Let's take a look back at it as we saw it just off the right hand side here, and obviously going 3 wide. This is what kind of gets produced here. Things get a whole lot tighter, not a whole lot of room out there to make a mistake, and doesn't take much to make a little contact with somebody and get unbalanced. But we're going to see Ryan Chronister get up, tank the outside fence here into corner number 3, and it kind of just kills his momentum a bit. And then you see the 88's kind of peeking underneath of him, can't quite get checked up in time. And then as he gets into the back end of the 19 ride, that's where things are going to get started as Chronister in the fence, loses the speed, momentum. 88 gets into his back end, hooks him down the racetrack into Kent Mueller. Then Mueller is doing everything he can to try to keep this thing just still pointing in the right direction. And unfortunately, there's just not much you can do here. There's the contact down onto the apron. Unfortunately, shoots back up the track right into the lap of the 40 ride, who ends up into the driver's side seat of the 10 machine. They all get slammed up into the outside fence. Pretty solid contact there for Mueller, for the 40 machine of Doug Denise, and that 10 ride as well of Matt Walters. A lot of damage for all 3 of those drivers. And unfortunately for some of them, that may take them out of this race here for the rest of the evening, as we do see the 40 machine head down pit side. We do see Ryan Chronister coming down pit side as well. He wants to get that right side damage fixed after getting into the outside fence. Then obviously we get a few more drivers looking for some more additional repairs. Jeff Carson comes down pit side. Trevor Massetti's also down there. Here comes Corey Denk as well, as they'll all look to get their cars a little bit more repaired and hopefully a little bit more into the battle here. Jack's Holders down there as well as the Chronister down pit side. Ken Mueller has to use that quick repair, man. He had a lot of damage on that 8 ride, so use the quick repair. He is jumping back out there, hoping to get back into the action. And then I do believe for Matt Walters, looks like his night may be done here. So for the Fireballs Golf Course, the Live Tour machine, the number 10 ride, looks like he may be parked down pit side for an extended period of time. And for Doug Denise, he may be down there as well. Now, the 40 ride may still have a quick repair. It doesn't look like the crew has used it as of yet, so we'll have to wait and see if he's trying to save it for a little bit later. But you can still see the damage that's on this ride. Let's see if we can get another angle at it and not stare at the grandstands. As you see the damage still on this 40 ride, the crew is going to work. They haven't used that quick repair up, and that may be a big mistake, as the 40 ride is going to want to leave pit road here before, our race leaders catch back up to him. But as he sits down pit road, for our race leaders, they're not yet getting ready to go back to green flag racing, but they may put him a lap down here in a quick hurry, and it may take them too long to get back around the racetrack. Now, the crew has done a fantastic job getting this car somewhat back into decent shape. That right front area definitely seems like it's gotten some good work done to it. Now the rest of the car still needs quite a bit of work. We'll see if he can get out before the pace car here, see if he can keep himself on the lead lap. Here comes our race leaders. I'm not sure if he's going to beat him out. I think he's going to go a lap down here, and unfortunately he will, as we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing. Unfortunately for the number 40 ride, he will lose the lap out there on the racetrack for the 10 of Matt Walters. He is unfortunately still down pit side as well. Now a couple laps down, and for our race leader, Tyler Chronister, getting ready to see this green flag fly. We're about ready to go back to battle here in this one, as 25 laps are now completed. Only 15 laps left to go. When we go back to green flag racing, it'll be a 14-lap shootout, biting additional caution flags and potentially some NASCAR overtime here this evening. Is Cowboy in the chat? The Cowboy Casserole says, let's go. Number 15, cheering on King here this evening. Are you cheering on Drew King or Brian King? What King? I guess the 15 King. So you're cheering on Mr. Brian King here this evening. Well, Brian, he sits back at about the 11th position here for this restart. He was up towards the front. They were all really doing a great job here early on, but now obviously a lot of different pit strategies. Some drivers needing fuel, other drivers not needing, fuel or really much work anymore, so they've been able to stay out, and that's kind of really mixed up a lot of the starting grid here and a lot of the drivers towards the front of the field. We do see Gage Wenzel still up there rolling at about that 4th position, but for a lot of these other drivers, including Gage, have yet to come down pit road and make a pit stop here this evening. So you're going to wonder if they are just saving enough fuel, if they're good to go all 40 laps without making a pit stop here this evening. I mean, with enough caution laps, anything is possible. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out for him. As here we go, back to green flag racing here at Daytona International Speedway. As that number 99 of Tyler Chronister, great launch, great start, looks to kind of block the outside lane, jumps back down to the inside where the 51 of Dwayne Furtick will pick him up and try to get that inside lane rolling once again out there on the speedway. But we know for that 36 of Gage Wenzel, he's a fast cat. He's one of those drivers that we always look towards to try to find victory lane when it comes to some of these big races. And for that 36 Ryan, he sits there in that 4th position, and he's trying to keep that outside lane rolling here this evening. He does have the 14 Ryan of Connor Fuge right there with him, and then Al Likens up there as well. Looks like Likens, I wasn't sure if he's going to try to go to that 3rd lane, or it looks like he's going to fall back in the line here and stay 2 by 2 out there on the racetrack, at least as of for now. But we may see these drivers go a little bit more door to door and a little bit more 3 wide here, especially as these laps continue to click on and we get closer and closer to the checkered flag here this evening. We'll have to wait and see, kind of what the strategy call will be for a lot of these cats. A lot of these guys may not want to pull the trigger there and make some big moves and go 3-4 wide out there on the speedways. Take a look at the 14, just shot to the outside. It looks like the 36 is going to kind of throw a little bit of a block on it, so it looked like maybe Connor Fuge was thinking about going up there. But right now, here we go, the 12 right again. I don't know if he's just trying to get some extra air into the intake of that 12 ride, maybe running into a little bit of overheating issues, but right there, that was so close to seeing another big wreck here at the front of the field. Gage Wenzel moved down to that 2nd lane. The 34 kind of went more towards the outside fence and then back down. Almost got hooked around, and that almost brought out a big yellow flag. But luckily enough for the 36 and the 34 Ryan, both able to keep their cars pointing the right direction. Unfortunately for Drew King, he falls back here deeper in the field. No real help to his back bumper there in that 3rd groove. Looks like the 26 Ryan may try to pick him up here with Tommy Pulte, but now we do see 2 and 3 wide here at the front of the field, and look out, here they come back down and into the tri-oval as 29 laps completed in it. Look how, who's that front, man? It was the quick car in qualifying. Our pole sitter here this evening, and for our Tom's Tasty Taters, 250 in 2 weeks for the regular season opener. The 94 ride of Adam Belton right back out in front. Gage Wenzel's there with him. You see Tyler Chronister's right there as well. Chronister, he's been making moves, man. That 99 ride is going to be a car to look at late in this race. You do see the 11 down on the apron looking to rejoin the field here. Oh, baby, John Osborne. That was too close, as he went way down onto the apron. Luckily enough, he got that G-Shock ride back up onto the racetrack, but we did see another driver down there as well. I do believe that was Drew King way down the track as well on the apron. Looks like he's got some pretty solid front end damage. No caution flag. We keep it clean and green, and we keep on battling, and unfortunately, as we talked about earlier on, there is a few drivers that are parked down pit side, and pretty much out of this race. Doug Denise down there and Matt Walters unfortunately took his car off the racetrack as well. So unfortunately early exits to the race here for those two cats, as couple times getting caught up in those big wrecks, getting tore up out there on the racetrack, and that's where you'll find yourself here throughout the season. So you want to avoid any of those big problems, but I mean, if you're going to have a problem or an early season issue, you wanted to have it here in this first race. You want to kind of get it out of the way, take your lashings here in a non-points race, and hope that you have better luck and a better turn at things when it comes to our points race here in Daytona in 2 weeks, as the 94 continues to lead the way. As we only get 9 laps left to go here in this race. We told you it was going to fly right on by. This one was going to zoom by here, only a 40-lap feature event, and before you know it, we could see this checkered flag in the air, but I got a sneaky suspicion there may be a caution flag or two still lurking around the corner. What do you guys think? Jump into the comments section right now. What do you guys think? Do you think we will see, another yellow flag or two here this evening, or do you think these guys are going to somehow or another keep it together for the next 8 laps of racing action across the start-finish line? Around this next 8 laps, clean and green, at least until that white flag lap. And there it is. Oh, we spoke too soon. There it is. We'll call that one the announcer's curse right there. Unfortunately, someone had to find out the tough way that the announcer's curse is a real thing, and unfortunately, it can tear up your race car in a quick hurry. As I do believe it was the 21 ride of Fred Pennington. Pennington runs into some issues here. Let's take a look at Pennington, as they're 3 wide in front of them here. Chronister is up in that 3rd lane after Al Likens jumps down to the inside. Now, they both come with a big head of steam in right there. Okay, so it looks like Pennington tries to follow the 12 ride down. Unfortunately, just was not clear of the lane below him here. He's going to cut down across the nose here of Mr. King out there on the racetrack, and unfortunately, a little contact right there is all it takes. That car turning to the left, and all of a sudden he gets sideways, nowhere to go for Cendric as he drives right into the side of the 21 ride. Pretty solid contact for both of those drivers. Great piece of driving from the 17 of Max Cost to be able to avoid getting really into that or any damage at all, and a lot of these other drivers doing a fantastic job keeping themselves pointing the right direction as well. But heavy damage there for the 21 of Fred Pennington, and heavy damage as well for that, I do believe it is the number 32 ride. We can find him out there on the racetrack. There is. Some of these drivers don't have their things fixed, so we can't quite tell exactly where they are or where their score. There it is. There's Connor Ingram. Okay, so he's able to get back up there a little bit farther here. Looks like he's trying to get his position back or something, or trying to get down pit road a little bit sooner, but for that 32 ride, ends up with some pretty solid front end damage. As you see the Art Club number 32 machine, that front end really punched in there after a hard hit into that 21 ride, and that may have to take him down pit road here for some extended period of time to get that thing repaired, as we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to green flag racing. As I'm not sure if we're going to go to NASCAR overtime, but we are definitely going to be a very short run to the checkered flag here this evening. This may end up being a 5-lap, maybe a 4-lap shootout here. Let's see if the lights turn off. The official iRacing pace car this time by does not look like it. So we're going to have at least 2 more laps under caution here, and for the iRacing pace car, he's obviously led a lot of laps here tonight himself, but that will give us a little bit of a break and a golden opportunity here to get a word in from our amazing sponsors here with the Hypershift Racing League. as here we go, getting ready to go back to green flag racing after a quick shout out there to all of our amazing season sponsors here in 2026 of the Hypershift Racing League in the IMB NASCAR Series. As each and one of these drivers getting ready to go back to battle, we do see one driver taking the chicane down the back straight away. He'll fall back in line, and everyone will get ready to go back to battle here as we'll take the green flag with 4 laps left to go here in this feature event. So 4 more laps left to duke it out here this evening, and for each and every one of these drivers, this will be a big opportunity here. Now, obviously, we take a look at Adam Boughton. He's still leading this race. If he wins this race, he's still starting in the pole position no matter what, whether he comes first or if he comes 30th. It doesn't matter for the 94 ride any longer or for the 12 of Al Likens. But for the 36 ride of Gage Wenzel, if you can win this race or even come home in second, that puts you starting on the inside of the third or second row of this feature of 2 weeks from now's feature event. Is here we go back to green flag racing. Is Boughton with a good launch, great restart. He's got the 96 ride of Aaron Spear right there on his back bumper. As here comes that 3 birdies, the number 31 ride, Matt Sisler right there as well. Sisler is there as well, looking to try to battle his way up and into the hunt here at the front, as Matt is all over the back bumper here of Gage Wenzel and pushing him hard down the back straightaway, and it looks like it may be enough to clear the 36 over the 94, and there it is. Wenzel jumps down to the inside, will leave the outside groove to the 3 birdies machine, and now for Matt Sisler, he'll have to try to keep that outside lane alive, but for the inside groove, they're hoping that they can just build up enough speed and momentum to kind of leave that high side high and dry here this evening, as Gage Wenzel will lead another lap, and we're now 3 laps away from the checkered flag here this evening. So 3 more laps to get it done, and this is when the big moves really start to happen. This is when the intensity's picked up. Drivers are feeling that pressure. They're going to get pushing. They're going to get moving a whole lot more than what they were early in this race. And you're going to start to see them shuffle around a lot more. That tends to build a lot more issues. You do see the 78 of Jaden Newsom jumps up to the outside lane. Here comes the 12 ride as well with them. Al Likens trying to work his way up there. Is down and out of corner number 4. They'll head back down and through the tri-oval. And for Gage Wenzel, he will see 2 laps left to go here in this race. Next time by our white flag is what every one of these drivers, at least for Gage Wenzel, he wants to see, as the next flag will end this race if the white flag gets displayed. But for the 36 ride of Gage Wenzel right now, door to door, that is the 78 ride of Jaden Newsom. Now, I know last season they were teammates. This season, I'm not sure if they are or not, but it looks like for the Canadian Racing number 78, he's going to get a big push from Al Likens, and he'll take that opportunity to jump down low in front of the 36 of Gage Wenzel as they head down through corner number 3. Nice and easy out of corner number 4. Look at Tyler Chronister. He's looking to go to the outside rim, and he's looking to try to get that 3rd lane rolling as they head back down to the tri-oval. They will see the white flag fly. So the next flag will end this race here. Now, the caution flag will not be called on the white flag lap, so it will be a battle back to the line here this evening, as they are 3 wide, 6, 7 rows deep, 2 rows or 3 rows back behind our race leader. That's exactly what Jaden Newsom and Gage Wenzel want to see, is if they can keep battling 2, 3, 4 wide back there behind them, it could allow them to run away. But now here comes a big run from the number 94 of Adam Boughton. Boughton getting a good run to the outside. As for the final time here this evening, down through 3 and out of corner number 4. It'll be a drag race back to the line. Boughton goes to the outside. Wenzel down to the inside, and it's Gage Wenzel who will pick up the checker flag here in our 213SimWear Duels at Daytona, setting the stage here for what will be an incredible season in the Hypershift IMB NASCAR Series here in 2026. Man, this is going to be an amazing series, an amazing show, night after night after night. And if you guys want to check out all the action and watch these drivers duke it out week after week after week, hit that subscribe button right now. Become part of the Peacemaker family. Turn those bell notifications on. That way you never miss it when we go green flag racing here on Peacemaker Gaming, as Gage Wenzel will get ready to celebrate here on the front straightaway at the World Center of Racing as he picks up the Duels win. The 36 ride, he locks himself in as the third driver in line to start our Daytona 500 in 2 weeks' time. So for the 36 machine, he will start behind Adam Belton and the number 12 of Al Likens. They qualified 1 and 2 in the qualifying session. That gave them the front row to our Daytona 500-esque race in the Tom's Tasty Taters 250 in 2 weeks' time. For Gage Wenzel, Jaden Newson, they will make up the second row with Jack Simpson, who finished back in 4th. He will start in the 5th spot to round out our top 5 for the starting grid in 2 weeks' time. Everyone else will start back behind them, but for Gage Wenzel, man, big run, big win, and this is definitely going to build that, joyous occasions, and obviously it's going to, build a ton of momentum for him and the team here as Jaden Newson's right there, Jack Simpson inside the top 4. Is that all 3 of their teammates that we saw last year up inside of the top 4 here this evening? We'll have to wait and see. I'm not sure if there's... Are they still teammates, chat? I'm not 100% sure if they are. I haven't really seen too much of a team area here throughout the preseason or anything else, but we'll have to look through the Discord one of these days and see if we can find something to see, all the team stuff, as well as love that the teammates all got top 4 spots. Yeah, okay, so I thought that they were. So for Gage Wenzel, Jaden Newson, and Jack Simpson, all a part of the same team, and here they are, all up inside our top 4 here this evening, man. What a run. What a show for them. That is impressive moves here late in the race to find themselves up there and in to not only victory lane, but onto the podium here and to round out our top 4 out there on the racetrack. Because we'll get ready to pull our race winner up and into the booth right now. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's see some congratulations up into the chat right now for Gage Wenzel. Hey, Gage, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
I got you, man.
Gage, brother, it has been a long off season, but you pick right up where pretty much you left off, man, and that is sitting out in front, leading laps, and putting yourself up and into victory lane, man. And somehow or another, you're able to make some moves there. You saw your teammate Jaden Newson go up to the high side there, try to put a little bit of a block and slow down that 94 of Adam Belton. Unfortunately, Belton did get him at the line, but it opened up the door for you down low to put the throttle down and steal this win away from both of them as you pull yourself up and in to the World Center of Racing Daytona International Speedway victory lane, man. Take us back through it and what's going through your mind after a very exciting season opener.
Yeah, racing at the start was kind of bad. The pack just didn't have momentum, and then I don't know what flipped the switch there, but I think people turned up the aggression, and the pack was racing really good and clean. Yeah, I was committed to pushing Jaden to the win. I thought blocking was the right move for him there. He got to his outside quarter. And then I had the C's parted. Second year in a row I've won this race. Hopefully I can get it done in the actual race. I don't want to win this one. I'd rather win the next one. But yeah, I'm going to be sitting 3rd for the Tom's Tasty Taters race come next week and won the duel. Jaden did such a good job. This team's really good. We've done a lot of Daytona things this week with I just made the FTF 500, and this team's going to be really fast all through the packages of speed weeks. Not speed weeks. What am I talking about? Super speedways. I'm sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so far here, one race into the season, obviously guys look very strong here this afternoon, and You look at Jaden, who's ended up finishing back in third, but had a great opportunity and chance there to win this race. And all of a sudden, through some of that 3-4 wide battle and back to the line, your other teammate, Jack Simpson, slips right on through and finds himself finishing there in position number 4 as well. So all three of your teammate, or yourself and all three members of the team, find themselves inside the top 4.
Yeah, we all worked really good, and we added Connor Fuge too to the team this year, so we got a 4th car, and he was fast tonight. He got a top 10. I'm feeling really good about this year, man. I know I just came off winning last year, but I feel way better. I just feel confident anywhere I go, and even a plate track, I just felt like I managed that perfectly all night. I stayed up front. I didn't lead the most laps, but I led the one that counted. I don't think I led a lap till that. But it was fun, and this team's going to be – each one of these guys on this team are going to be contenders.
Well, it's going to be a very, very exciting year, man. We can't wait for many tight, close battles like we saw here tonight. And obviously, when we head back here, in 2 weeks' time for our point season opener, virtually our Daytona 500 here for the Hypershift Racing League, you get to start in that 3rd position. You get your teammates already up and around you there towards the front of the field. Now, obviously, that's going to have a lot to say for strategy here as well. Is now you guys stay at the front, you guys fall to the back and try to play it a little bit safe early on? Kind of what do you think the game plan is going to be going forward here, or going into the next race, and does it change from what you guys may have had planned
out? I don't think it changed even if this duel went really bad, but the goal is going to be we're going to be up front. Like, we tried to hang in the back last year. We got good runs out of it, but I don't think we won a single actual big plate track race, and that didn't show for our speed. We had a pole, and we were really good. Jaden almost won a few. I almost won a few. So we're just going to go up front and lead, and someone's going to have to knock us out that pedestal because all these 4 hot rods are fast. And I can't wait for next week, man. Or 2 weeks' time, like you said.
Yeah, absolutely. Going to be a great show. Obviously, we're 2 weeks away from our Daytona 500 here in the Hypershift Racing League, because next Thursday is the in real life, duels at Daytona, which is always exciting. And obviously for a lot of the guys here, I'm sure some of you may even be down in Florida watching it and being in the crowd cheering those guys on for that action. So we're off next Thursday. We'll be back again in 2 weeks' time. I know it sucks doing that because obviously, it's such a long off season. It's been a while since we saw you guys out there on the racetrack, and now we're back for one race and then right into a week off.
Yeah, the week offs kind of stings, but this just makes us stew on a great run like this even better, right? When you have that time off, and we came off last year that Jaden and Jack didn't get to run a lot last year at the end, and this just puts your momentum and your focus up, and that just makes them really excited for the year. So I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we all can say that, man. Going to be a very exciting year. Going to be a lot of great Thursday nights back here in action with the Hypershift Racing League. And here tonight, man, you get to cap it all off with a hot start and, a hot finish last season. Now a hot start to this season as well. Trying to go back to back here for the championship, and obviously riding some maybe of that momentum still into this race. And now you build even more momentum going into the regular season, man. Gage, who would you like to thank for obviously a great run and strong performance again here tonight?
Yeah, first and foremost, Jesus Christ. Everything is through him, man, and thankful for everything I have in life. Every day is a blessing, and it's amazing. Every one of these teammates on this team, they did a great job tonight. Excuse me. They were really good tonight, and they're going to be a threat. I love all those guys. Tom's Tasty Taters and Walleye Fish Sandwiches. This car looks beautiful again, Aaron, and it's going to win a lot of races, so it's going to look beautiful in Victory Lane. 213SimWear, my beautiful girlfriend, who's been with me almost a year now, coming up. So I got to get that ready. And my whole family who supports me and watches me, and you up here in the booth for, calling all of us crazy guys out here.
Absolutely, brother. No better place to be on a Thursday night than here in the booth watching you guys duke it out there on the racetrack. Gage, congrats on the win. We can't wait to see you back out there in 2 weeks' time.
Thank you, my man. Have a good night.
You as well. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our race winner Gage Wenzel, as Wenzel picks up the dub here this evening, as we'll get ready now to pull in our second place finisher, who was our pole sitter, the number 94 of Adam Boughton. Hey Adam, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker broadcasting booth. Do you get a copy?
Yes, I do.
Adam, man, great run here this afternoon. Obviously, a very fast hot rod and battling here for, really no position because obviously you qualified on the pole. You get to start our Tom's Tasty Taters 250, which is our virtual, points season opener in 2 weeks time. So you're starting on the front row no matter what. You're already locked in. So tonight was a whole lot about maybe just trying to see what the car can do in traffic, maybe see what you have in store for that race in 2 weeks time. And boy oh boy oh boy, did you ever show that you're gonna be strong there in Daytona again in 2 weeks, because man, not once, twice, 3, 4 times. We say you kind of fall back a little bit and then battle your way back up to the front and then fall back a bit again and then right back up there. And late in this race, almost jumped up and stole this win away, not only from Jaden Newson, but from Gage Wenzel as well.
Yeah, we were pretty much after getting the pole there. We were just experimenting, like you said, and seeing to see how the car would react. Tried a little bit different setup for tonight. See if that helped. That seemed to feel pretty good. So looking poised for next week. Get to bring everybody to the green, starting on pole. So that's always a plus, and hopefully we can finish one spot better next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you get, 2 weeks time to kind of settle in. You kind of get the stew in this race where, you're so close to finding the first win of the season here in the 213SimWear Duels at Daytona. And now you kind of get to go through the replay, get to go through the broadcast, maybe pick up on some things you may have missed, maybe see some of the different runs and kind of work on, a little bit of different strategy potentially here in 2 weeks time.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna go do a little bit of homework for the Daytona next week, and ultimately, hopefully, we can keep it clean and keep no mistakes and keep it out front.
Absolutely.
Well, track position is going to be huge, I think, but anything can happen in these plate races.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely going to be big. Definitely going to be a must-have to be up there towards the front, especially late in these races. We saw a lot of drivers that were mired a little deeper in the field, trying to force their way up there late in this one. Just could never quite get the run or the lane that they needed to be able to jump up here and battle for the race here this afternoon. But for yourself, you made some moves, you made some golden opportunities, and you almost started from the pole position, almost ended in the top position here this evening, but you're going to settle in for a solid second place run. Adam, who'd you like to thank for another great run and great performance here in the Hypershift Racing League?
Well, shout out to you for coming back on and do the broadcast again. Looking forward to rewatching the races this year. Did an awesome job last year, and looking forward to it again this year. Shout out to my teammate there in the 96, Aaron Spear. Without him, we would have been a sitting duck there. No way would have been able to even have a chance to make a move for the lead there. And shout out to my other RMS teammates. They got caught up in some of the carnage, so they'll probably be looking to come from the back. But hopefully they can find their way up to the front, and we can link up and all of us grab a good finish.
Absolutely. Well, we can't wait to see you guys back in action in 2 weeks' time for the Tom's Tasty Taters 250 again here from Daytona International Speedway, and hopefully we get you right back up here in the broadcast booth. Adam, congrats on the second place run. Congrats on the pole position for our, first points race of the season in 2 weeks' time, and hopefully we'll get you back up here, maybe a spot better and into victory lane.
That's the plan.
Beauty, enjoy the rest of your night.
You do the same.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for Mr. Boughton as Adam comes home in position number 2 here this evening, as we'll get ready now to pull in our third place finisher. It was that number 78 ride of Jaden Newson. Let's get Newson up here into the chat. Hey, Jaden, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker broadcasting booth. Do you get a copy?
I do.
Jaden, man, great run, great race for you here this evening, man. As we saw you making some, big late race moves. We talked about it as, we were getting down to that white flag, and all of a sudden you're able to kind of bounce around a little bit, make some moves, and you jump out in front, and then all of a sudden you kind of got to play some defense here late in this race. You got your teammate Gage Wenzel trying to help push you there to the race win. Unfortunately, Adam Belton had some different ideas, and you go up, you throw a bit of a block there on him, which, unfortunately still would have lost you the race, but luckily enough, you're able to hold not only yourself up, but the 94 up enough that your teammate Gage can kind of put the power down, show right on by both of you, put himself up into victory lane, man. But it was a hell of a show and a strong performance for you here in our first race of this season.
Oh, I appreciate it. It was. I felt like we had really good control, especially as a team. At some point, we were all on the line on the high line. It was really nice working with Connor for the first time. Overall, I think as a team, we performed really well. We had some strategies, and I feel like that the block it didn't go how I expected it to. Adam kind of pushed me a little bit late, and he was able to kind of get towards my quarter panel, and I could feel him side drafting. So all in all, I'm just happy that Gage got away with it anyways. We were just trying to have control, you know what I mean, of the front towards the end, and it didn't work out for me, but I'm glad it worked out for the team. So we're all starting in good spots, all in the top 10, and I'm happy with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Solid, top 10s. Obviously, you got 3 of you up inside the top 4 here with Jack Simpson right there behind you. And just a very, very strong showing here in the first race of the season. And now it leads in, obviously, now to, our first points race of this season. And, obviously we'll have Belton and Likens in that front row, but you and your teammates will be kind of up there surrounding their back bumper with, Gage and yourself there in that second row, and Jack Simpson on the inside, row number 3 as well. So you guys are kind of already starting up there towards the front. You've shown that you got really fast hot rods and the ability to win. What do we got in store here for us 2 weeks' time when we head back here to Daytona?
No, I think 2410 as a whole really works well together as a team. So again, we're going to be looking for more of a dominant strategy. We got to have control and just overall avoid the wrecks. I mean, it's Daytona, so it's a crapshoot. You still a little bit of luck involved. So I think just coordination and working as a team is what we're going to bring, and hopefully it works out for us like it did today.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously looking to try to recreate virtually what happened here tonight. Maybe trying to make it that 1, 2, 3, 4 finish for the team. But obviously just trying to get one of you guys up there to win that season opener, to get off to even more of a high note after winning the duels is going to be that main goal. And we can't wait to see what you guys got in store. But Jaden, is there anyone you'd like to thank here this evening for another great run and amazing performance out there on the racetrack?
All my teammates, they were just so helpful throughout the entire race, especially Gage. I'm happy that he won. So shout out to the team. I want to thank my sponsors, Can Racing, ASL. They're huge supporters of me, so it's nice to get their name out there. And I appreciate you guys.
Absolutely, brother. Always my pleasure to be up here in the booth and be able to watch you guys duke it out here on the speedways, man. We can't wait to see you guys back out there, see what you guys got in store for us, and can't wait to be calling you guys here, week after week after week again on Thursday nights. Jaden, as a great run, great performance for yourself, man. Congrats on the 3rd place performance.
Thank you.
And we'll see you back out there in 2 weeks' time, man. Enjoy the rest of your night.
I appreciate it. Take care.
You as well. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our 3rd place finisher, Jaden Newson. Jaden comes home in position number 3 here this evening, man. Solid run, solid drive there for that number 78 ride here this year. The 78 ride of Jaden Newson this season, not the 40. We're used to seeing him in the 40. He's now moved to the 78, so we'll have to try to remember all the different numbers and sponsors, everything else, and honestly try to make sure we get all the new names correct here as well. As, man, a lot of great drivers, a lot of great cats out there, and it's going to be a very, very fun season. We can't thank you guys enough for tuning in and showing the love here throughout the evening, man. So many amazing people in here cheering these guys on, watching these guys duke it out all night long, man. We appreciate each and every single one of you who tuned in and showed the love. And if you guys enjoyed that racing action, if you guys can't wait to see some more, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, become part of the Peacemaker family here today. Hit the like button on the stream for us as well. Jump into the comments section. Let us know what you thought of the broadcast. And we'll see you guys back in here. I think we're off tomorrow night. I don't think we got a race. Our Friday night series had just ended, so we got a few weeks until they get kicked back up underway. So, you know, maybe we'll do something else. Maybe we'll play a little Call of Duty or something. I kind of doubt that we will, but if not, we'll be back here Saturday night for some racing action here again on Peacemaker Gaming, and it's going to be some more amazing fun and shows here, and we can't wait to see you guys back in the grandstands cheering these drivers on. But thank y'all for watching, thank y'all for tuning in, and we'll catch y'all back here in the next one, man. Peace and love, ladies and gentlemen. Peace and love.